While millions of people see cacti as nothing more than spiny desert decorations, in Mexico they form the backbone of a billion-dollar industry that feeds entire communities. Here's the contradiction that will blow your mind. Those towering saguaro cacti you admire in nature documentaries are actually agricultural gold mines producing some of the world's most expensive fruits. Every summer, more than 200,000 tons of giant cactus fruits are hand-harvested across Sonora, Mexico, generating over $500 million annually in one of the world's most dangerous and profitable farming operations. A single mature saguaro cactus, standing up to 60 feet tall and living for over 200 years, can produce up to 200 ruby-red fruits in just 6 critical weeks. These aren't your typical grocery store fruits. Premium cactus fruits sell for $8 each in gourmet restaurants, while their juice commands $15 per liter in European markets. But here's what makes this industry truly extraordinary. It's built entirely on tradition, danger, and split-second timing. Indigenous families called pitilleros risk their lives climbing these natural skyscrapers using nothing but 25-foot bamboo poles, racing against brutal desert heat that reaches 122 degrees. One wrong move means a potentially fatal fall, yet these master harvesters can collect over 4,000 pounds per day during peak season. Join us as we dive into this hidden world, where ancient traditions meet modern markets, where survival skills become million-dollar expertise, and where the harsh Sonoran desert transforms into one of agriculture's most lucrative frontiers. The story of cactus fruit harvesting begins over 4,000 years ago, when the indigenous Tohono O'odham people first discovered that these desert giants weren't just survival resources. They were agricultural treasures waiting to be unlocked. What started as subsistence gathering has evolved into a sophisticated industry that rivals traditional farming in both complexity and profitability. The economic importance of this industry cannot be overstated. While most people struggle to grow anything in desert conditions, these communities have mastered the art of harvesting nature's skyscrapers. The global cactus fruit market, known as prickly pear, or tuna in Spanish, generates over $1.2 billion annually, with Mexico controlling 60% of world production. What makes these fruits so valuable? Unlike conventional fruits that require extensive irrigation and soil preparation, cactus fruits are naturally adapted to extreme conditions. They're packed with antioxidants, contain 40% more vitamin C than oranges, and possess a unique flavor profile described as a cross between watermelon and bubblegum. The deep magenta flesh contains natural betalains, powerful compounds that health-conscious consumers pay premium prices for in smoothies and supplements. The scale of production is staggering. During the brief harvest season from mid-June to late July, over 50,000 families mobilize across 2.5 million acres of Sonoran desert. Each mature saguaro produces between 100 to 200 fruits annually, and with an estimated 2 million harvestable cacti in the region, the mathematical potential reaches astronomical numbers. Primary markets include high-end restaurants in Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Las Vegas, luxury juice bars across California, and export markets in Japan and Europe, where exotic fruits command premium prices. Once feared as impenetrable wilderness, the Sonoran Desert now represents one of North America's most valuable agricultural zones. If you know how to read its thorny language, the harvest begins long before anyone touches a single fruit. Expert pitilleros start scouting their territories in early May, identifying which cacti will produce the best yields based on flower density and positioning. These master harvesters inherit knowledge passed down through generations. They can predict fruit quality just by examining the wilted flowers that preceded them. Selection criteria are incredibly specific. Only saguaro cacti over 35 years old produce fruits, but harvesters prefer specimens between 60 and 150 years old for optimal production. The ideal cactus stands between 15 and 25 feet tall, has a thick trunk indicating strong root systems, and shows no signs of bacterial infection or woodpecker damage. Experienced pitayeros can evaluate a cactus from 100 yards away, determining potential yield, fruit size, and harvesting difficulty within seconds. Initial preparation involves crafting specialized tools that haven't changed in centuries. The primary harvesting pole, called a quibit, is made from lightweight saguaro ribs lashed together with rawhide, reaching exactly 25 feet in length. At the tip, harvesters attach a wooden crosspiece that allows them to twist fruits free without damaging the cactus or dropping the precious cargo. Each family maintains 3 to 4 poles of different lengths, as backup equipment can mean the difference between success and financial disaster during the brief harvest window. The most fascinating aspect is timing prediction. Harvesters use a complex calculation involving rainfall patterns, temperature fluctuations, and moon phases to predict when each cactus will reach peak ripeness. They create mental maps of hundreds of individual cacti, knowing that cactus number 47 on the eastern ridge always ripens 3 days before cactus number 52 near the wash, and that the large specimen by the ancient burial ground produces the sweetest fruits, but only during the final week of harvest season. Pre-harvest preparation includes establishing temporary camps in the desert, stockpiling water supplies, and coordinating family teams. Children as young as 12 join the operation, learning to identify ripe fruits by their deep red color and slight give when pressed. The entire process requires military precision timing. Too early, and you waste precious energy on unripe fruits. Too late, and you watch thousands of dollars rot in the desert sun. The actual harvesting process transforms these families into desert acrobats, performing death-defying agricultural ballet. At dawn, when temperatures are only 85 degrees, harvesters arrive at their assigned cacti carrying specialized equipment: the quibit pole, collection baskets, thick leather gloves, and emergency supplies. The morning light reveals fruits clustered around the crown of each saguaro like rubies adorning a giant's head. Harvesting technique requires extraordinary skill and courage. The harvester positions their pole against the cactus trunk, using the natural spine patterns as grip points. They must maintain perfect balance while extending the 25-foot pole overhead, twisting ripe fruits free with precise movements that prevent dropping them onto the rocky ground below. A skilled pitayero can harvest 200 fruits per hour, but novices often spend 10 minutes per fruit while learning proper technique. Technology plays a minimal but crucial role. Some modern harvesters use lightweight aluminum poles instead of traditional wood, and GPS devices help them navigate between productive cacti. However, the core process remains unchanged. Human skill, physical strength, and intimate knowledge of desert conditions determine success. Weather monitoring has become more sophisticated, with harvest timing adjusted based on satellite forecasts and soil moisture sensors that predict optimal ripeness windows. The greatest challenges involve safety and quality control. Desert winds can turn a 25-foot pole into a dangerous lever, and one gust can send a harvester tumbling from 20 feet onto jagged rocks. Rattlesnakes often shelter beneath productive cacti, and the extreme heat causes dehydration within hours. Quality challenges include identifying the perfect ripeness moment. Fruits must be deep red with slight softness, but firm enough to survive transport to processing facilities. Advanced harvesters develop supernatural abilities. They can detect fruit ripeness by sound when tapping with the pole, identify which cacti will produce premium-sized fruits based on stem thickness, and predict weather changes by observing saguaro flower behavior. Master pitayeros command respect similar to wine masters, with their expertise determining whether a family earns $20,000 or $80,000 during the brief harvest season. The preparation for processing begins immediately after harvest. Fruits must be kept shaded and transported to cooling facilities within 6 hours to prevent fermentation. Each fruit is individually inspected, sorted by size and quality, and prepared for the next phase of this remarkable agricultural journey. The harvesting climax occurs during the final 2 weeks of July, when temperatures soar above 115 degrees. but fruit quality reaches its absolute peak. Master harvesters work from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., collecting between 800 and 200 pounds of premium fruits per team before the desert heat becomes deadly. Each fruit weighs approximately 3 to 4 ounces, meaning a productive day involves handling over 4,000 individual pieces of desert treasure. Immediate post-harvest processing is critical for maintaining quality. Fruits are quickly transported in refrigerated trucks to processing facilities, where they undergo rapid cooling to 45 degrees within 2 hours of harvest. The initial processing involves mechanical removal of the tiny spines called glochids, followed by washing and sorting into 5 distinct categories based on size, color intensity, and blemish-free appearance. The variety of final products is remarkable. Premium whole fruits, selling for $6 to $8 each, go directly to high-end restaurants and specialty markets. Grade A fruits become fresh juice, processed within hours of harvest and selling for $12 to $15 per liter in health food stores. Lower-grade fruits are processed into concentrate, purees, and syrups that supply the natural food coloring industry. Even the seeds don't go to waste. They're processed into expensive cosmetic oils selling for $180 per liter. Market values reveal the industry's profitability. Fresh fruits command $4 to $8 per pound, wholesale, compared to $0.50 to $1.50 for conventional fruits like apples or oranges. Premium juice retails for $15 to $25 per liter, competing directly with cold-pressed vegetable juices in urban markets. Dried cactus fruit leather sells for $12 to $16 per pound as a gourmet health snack, while frozen puree supplies restaurants year-round at $8 to $12 per pound. Distribution networks span from local Mexican markets to international export channels. Los Angeles serves as the primary distribution hub, with specialized trucks delivering fresh fruits to restaurants in Beverly Hills within 36 hours of desert harvest. European markets, particularly Germany and France, import over $50 million worth of processed cactus products annually, driven by growing demand for exotic superfruits and natural food coloring. Quality control standards exceed those of conventional agriculture. Each batch undergoes testing for pesticide residues, though none are used, heavy metals and bacterial contamination. Premium products carry certifications for organic status, fair trade compliance, and sustainable harvesting practices that ensure saguaro cacti remain healthy for future generations. The cactus fruit industry employs over 80,000 people across 150 indigenous communities throughout Sonora and Arizona, making it one of the most significant economic drivers in regions where traditional agriculture is impossible. During harvest season, entire villages mobilize, from teenagers learning family techniques to grandparents who remember when cactus fruits were purely subsistence food rather than luxury commodities. Community impact extends far beyond individual families. Successful harvest seasons fund school construction, medical clinics, and infrastructure improvements in remote desert communities. The village of Pitaquito, population 2,400, generates over $8 million annually from cactus harvesting, with families earning more in 6 weeks than most regional jobs provide in entire years. Children who might otherwise migrate to cities for work can remain in their ancestral communities while earning substantial incomes. The value chain involves diverse players, each capturing different profit margins. Indigenous harvesters typically earn $2 to $4 per pound for premium fruits, while processors add $2 to $3 per pound in value through cleaning, sorting, and packaging. Distributors capture another $3 to $5 per pound, and retailers mark up final products by 200 to 400% for urban consumers. Despite these margins, harvesters can earn $40,000 to $80,000 during peak seasons, extraordinary income in regions where average annual wages hover around $8,000. Export markets represent the industry's highest growth potential. Japan imports over $25 million worth of cactus products annually, primarily for health supplements and natural cosmetics. European markets, driven by demand for organic and exotic foods, show 15 to 20% annual growth in cactus fruit consumption. The United States, despite being adjacent to production areas, remains an underdeveloped market with enormous potential for expansion. Compared to traditional agriculture, cactus harvesting offers superior profitability per acre. While conventional farming in arid regions struggles with irrigation costs and soil preparation, desert harvesting requires no inputs beyond human labor. A single acre of mature saguaro cacti can generate $8,000, $15,000 annually, with minimal environmental impact, compared to $500 to $2,000 per acre for traditional desert crops requiring extensive irrigation. Future projections suggest continued growth, with market analysts predicting 25% annual expansion as health-conscious consumers discover cactus fruit's nutritional benefits and unique flavor profiles. Yet this ancient tradition faces complex modern dilemmas that challenge its long-term sustainability. Climate change is shifting traditional flowering and fruiting cycles, with some cacti producing fruits 3 weeks earlier than historical patterns, disrupting generations of inherited timing knowledge. Rising temperatures above 125 degrees are becoming more frequent, shortening safe harvesting windows and increasing heat-related injuries among workers. Different perspectives emerge around commercialization's impact. Traditionalists argue that market pressures are encouraging over-harvesting, with some families pushing cacti beyond sustainable limits to maximize short-term profits. They worry that treating sacred saguaro cacti as commercial crops dishonors ancestral relationships with the desert. Conversely, younger community members view the industry as their path to economic independence, while preserving cultural practices that might otherwise disappear as youth migrate to cities. Sustainability concerns center on habitat preservation. Real estate development threatens critical harvesting areas, with luxury desert resorts and retirement communities reducing available cactus populations. Some conservation groups advocate for protected status, while harvesters argue their traditional practices have sustained saguaro populations for millennia without external regulation. Worker welfare presents additional challenges. The inherently dangerous nature of climbing 60-foot cacti in extreme heat has resulted in increased accidents, with hospitalization rates rising 40% over the past decade. Younger harvesters, less experienced than their elders, face greater risks while pursuing higher profits. Some communities are implementing safety training programs, but traditional pride often conflicts with modern safety protocols. Environmental questions arise around transportation and processing. Flying fresh cactus fruits to European markets generates substantial carbon footprints, seemingly contradicting the sustainable agriculture narrative. Processing facilities require significant water usage in already water-scarce desert regions, raising questions about resource allocation. As global demand for exotic superfruits continues expanding, we must ask ourselves, does our appetite for authentic, traditional foods justify transforming ancient cultural practices into commercial enterprises? Can indigenous communities maintain their spiritual connections to the desert while meeting international market demands? And ultimately, what responsibility do consumers bear for the environmental and social impacts of our food choices? What do you think about the balance between preserving traditional ways of life and meeting modern economic needs? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden stories about the foods that connect us to landscapes and cultures around the world.